Senator McCain, my question is in regards to Iran and the nuclear reactor and what that means to us as Americans and what it means to our staunch ally in the Middle East, Israel. If you were President of the United States, how would you see that we should be dealing with Iran on this issue?
I say I will continue to keep the commitment that I've had for many, many years, that I will do whatever is necessary to preserve the independence and freedom of the State of Israel, our staunchest ally in the Middle East. I will do that without fail and without faltering and without changing. I have been to Israel on many occasions. I know their leaders, and I've met with them as recently as just a short time ago. I also went to a town in southern Israel called Seiderot, proper pronunciation, Seiderot. I was right the first time. Seiderot. Seiderot. It's spelled very differently than it sounds. That doesn't change the fact that I went to Seiderot and I saw a town with thousands of people living in it where the children have a 15-second warning to get to a shelter because of incoming fire from Gaza. Now that's not acceptable. People should not live under those conditions. And we have a terrorist organization called Hamas, as you know, that controls Gaza. But on the issue of Iran, as briefly as possible, at the beginning and end of our conversation, I will say we cannot allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Having said that, I would point out that not only do the Iranians are acquiring nuclear weapons, they are supporting terrorist organizations. They have had enormous influence in southern Iraq as well as other parts of Iraq by supporting these jihadist militias. They are exporting the most lethal explosive devices into Iraq from Iran that are built in Iran, which are killing young Americans. And obviously they are trying to exert an age-old ambition of Persian influence in the Middle East. It's not a new ambition. And they have a president who continues to deny the existence of the Holocaust or that the Holocaust ever happened, and continues to state his nation's policy to, quote, wipe Israel off the map. That's his statement. So it's a real threat in the region, and it's a threat for many reasons. I believe that working together in what I call a League of Democracies, the French, the British, the Germans, other countries that control so much of the economic power of the world, that we could put meaningful trade, economic, diplomatic, and other sanctions on the Iranians which could modify their behavior. I am told that there's 2 major European financial institutions that are extending unlimited lines of credit to the Iranians. Their economy is terrible because they got a terrible government. They are having to import gasoline, as you know, because of their lack of refining capability. They continue to provoke. As you notice, there was a couple of boats that came out in the Persian Gulf the other day. There was a provocation of our Navy ships a short time ago. So I believe we can have a significant impact, and the reason why I say that about a, quote, League of Democracies, because it's very clear the Russians will continue to block meaningful action in the Security Council. And by the way, in case you missed it, we now have a pro-American president of France, which shows if you live long enough, anything can happen in this world, as you know. So I believe there are a lot of avenues, very important avenues that we can pursue which can modify Iranian behavior. But I also think that at the end of the day, we cannot allow the Iranians to acquire nuclear weapons. And by the way, one other effect of that would be literally every nation in the region would feel compelled to acquire nuclear weapons themselves. And that obviously would contribute enormously to an already very unstable part of the world, to the tensions and challenges there. Yes.